It's a film dedicated to James Earl Jones, the original Mufasa from the year 1994. But what's up with some of those songs? Yeah. Guys, back on the cinema scale, today we are taking a look at Mufasa. Ooh, the Lion King. Lost and alone, orphaned cub Mufasa meets a sympathetic lion named Taka, the heir to a royal bloodline. The chance meeting sets in motion an expansive journey of an extraordinary group of misfits searching for their destinies. The film is directed by Barry Jenkins. You'll recall him from the movie Moonlight that he directed, and If Beale Street Could Talk. The film stars Aaron Pierre as Mufasa, Kelvin Harrison Jr. as Taka slash Scar, John Kani as Rafiki, and Matt Mikkelsen as Kuros. It's a story of friendship, brotherhood, self-discovery, and acceptance. The story is narrated by Rafiki to Kiara in present time. He tells of how Mufasa came to be orphaned by his blood family. After his displacement, he's adopted by a lioness and her son, Taka. Rejected by all in this tribe, besides the latter two, he seeks to discover himself. He and Taka become close brothers, as two orphaned brothers can become. And then Taka grows into a weak type of individual. He's timid, he's shy, he has no courage, he has no riz, as it were. Whereas Mufasa grows to become a strong, valiant, dependable lion. The story switches between the present circumstance of events in which Simba and Nala are having a kid and the story that Rafiki is telling. Now, the interesting thing about this movie, the character of Mufasa, played by Aaron Pierre, it held up well. I think that this character was a strong presence for a young Mufasa. Taka was good. Kelvin Harris as Taka was good, and Sarabi as well. That was a nice character played by Sarabi. There's not much screen time in this movie for Beyonce. She makes an appearance at the end of the movie, and I also in the beginning of the movie as well, just for a brief moment. Her daughter as Kiara did work. It wasn't terrible. I did not recognize that this was Blue Ivy Carter, so it wasn't a distraction during the film. Timon and Pumbaa, however, they were very unnecessary and annoying to watch on screen, often interrupting the story for comedic timing that's often missed, and it just makes it feel as though they shouldn't be in this movie. Like, it's awkwardly placed. This is a prequel and a sequel for the 2019 version of The Lion King, the live version, of course, and they are just in the way of this storyline. So that kind of ruined it just a little bit. Like, they came off more obnoxious than comedic throughout the entire movie, with a runtime of 1 hour and 58 minutes. Now, Mufasa goes through some extreme hardships in this movie, and that's what makes him a good king. You know, though that storyline, it makes sense. John Kani, he takes on this role of the grandfather-esque character, and he's tender and he's wise in connection with dealing with Kiara. And in the midst of their brotherhood, there is another lion tribe out there sent to do them damage. And that villain is played by Mads Mikkelsen, and he does a phenomenal job. He plays this very, very arrogant lion who seeks to mark his territory. And so throughout the film, Taka and Mufasa are struggling to protect themselves from this guy, while Mufasa is continuing to hold on to those qualities that make him the perfect king. Taka is slowly shrinking back, showing the audience that he's not ready to take that mantle because he's not ready to be aggressive as Mufasa is. And that's what really anchors this movie. That's where your confrontation kind of finds itself, right there in the middle of the plot. The songs in the film, although there aren't many songs, it's easy to forget them. There's nothing memorable about these songs, connecting from the story to the elements of the movie being told. And the songs are original songs by Lin-Manuel Miranda, They're not bad songs, but they're not deep. They're not going to stir up much emotion in you, but you will find yourself maybe being entertained by the song that focuses on the love essence of the movie, and then the song that focuses on the relationship between Taka and Mufasa as brothers. The movie also identifies, which was very helpful, questions that we Lion King fans have often long asked and never gotten an answer to. Like, for example, how did he get that scar? How did Mufasa meet Sarabi? How does Zazu come into the picture? Because he's a bird and they are lions. Where did Rafiki get his stick? How did Pride Rock begin? All of those things are addressed in the movie, and I think that gives a nice homage to the fan base because that was kept in mind. They were trying their best to make sure that as the story progressed, we were able to get those monumental moments, which is really, really good. It is a family film. It's rated PG. There is no strong graphic violence. There's nothing that you would have to be worried about. You can take little ones to see it. There are some moments in the movie where it goes up and then it's down, and then it's up and then it's down. There's good moments, but then there's long moments of dragging where you're trying to figure out, okay, what direction are they going? Some of the musical scores that come into the scene changes for instrumental value are from the 94 edition, which really makes you feel good emotionally. The story will really connect with someone whom has maybe had a rough life, someone whom has been displaced, or someone who grew up in an orphanage and is trying to find out where they belong in life. It's a movie that will tug at those heartstrings. If you're someone that's struggling to belong with or connect with your family, you may feel distance with them, the movie will definitely ring some emotions for you. I saw this movie in Dolby format, crisp, vibrant colors. I did enjoy the way Africa was portrayed in this movie, from the water to the mountains and the rocks and the snowy elements. But the lions looked a little bit raggedy in this movie. I don't know why these lions looked like beat up dogs, but they kind of looked a little rough around the edges. Whereas we're used to seeing Mufasa as this vibrant, golden, beautiful, luscious lion. He kind of looks a little bit matted down in this particular movie. There were some great shots, though, I have to give a shout out to in connection with the elements of wildlife. So there are moments in the movie where they are racing and the camera is like directly on the racer. So if Simba's racing, the camera's on him, and then there's this awesome shot of him just running, and you kind of get that bounce avenue of the race. It's like you're in the film versus watching a race from a drone's eye view. That really brings this kind of movie to life, and so that will really make it enjoyable from that aspect. But overall, it does do well telling the story of Mufasa. You are going to leave the theater with more questions answered than not. So guys, that was the Mufasa, the Lion King. Let me know in the comment box how you felt about this movie. Did you think it was corny? Did you think it was cringy? Did you think that they were trying too hard? Or do you think the movie was right where it was supposed to be? Let us know in the comment box and we'll catch you on that next review.